All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kimberly Hoyt Podcast. And I am so excited to introduce you to my friend, Christina Kjar. And we are going to be talking about real estate, diving into some other subjects such as mindset and other things today. So please help me welcome Christina. Christina, thank you so much for joining us today and being willing to come on and share a little bit about your journey. We're excited to have you.
Of course, glad to be here.
Awesome. All right, Miss Christina. So, Christina and I met through a real estate investing group, and we've been on a little bit of a journey together, which has been fun. But, Christina, I want to start with share a little bit about yourself. Tell me about kind of what got you into real estate investing. What sparked that interest for you?
Yeah, so just a little bit about me. I am a wife, mother of two boys. I live in Austin, Texas. My journey into real estate started, I don't know, 6, 7 months ago. So fairly new. I feel like it's been a whirlwind since then. It seems like years ago. So I'm a CPA and I work for a golf management company as the CFO, and my husband and I both make pretty good living. And I was doing our taxes from last year and I was just sickened at how much we were paying in taxes. So I was like, I'm going to figure out how to, fix this situation and reduce our tax liability. So of course I started researching, reading books, and I read the book Tax-Free Wealth. I forget the name of the author, but he's the financial partner of Robert Kiyosaki.
Uh-huh.
So I read that and I was amazed at what you could do with real estate investing as far as tax benefits. And so I've always been interested in real estate, and this kind of pushed me into going further with that. My kids are getting older and my job is pretty flexible. So I had some free time. I thought, like, okay, this is my time to kind of start doing something else on top of, all the household things that I do. But so I started looking at mentorships for real estate investing, the 7-day masterclass through Reen. I found that on Facebook and I was like, let me do this. It's just $17, 7-day course or whatever. So I did that and I was like, wow, this is so cool. It's right up my alley and it's very interesting to me. So I decided that mentorship wasn't right for me. So I continued looking and found Pace Morby's Sub 2 and watched tons of YouTube videos. He has hours and hours of stuff. So, and I really liked him, and I thought he seemed down to earth, not salesy. And so I thought, let me try this one. So I just jumped in, did it, and then that led me to learning all about creative finance and different ways to get into investing, which led me to his Gator Method course, which you and I met in.
Right.
And that has been awesome. I had no idea you could, do personal loans to real estate investors and make such good returns on that. So that's been awesome. And that's kind of what I've done so far. I haven't bought any properties yet, but that is the plan. So I want to buy and hold and get those tax benefits. So I'm excited to, start this and keep it going for years and have like a legacy to pass down to my kids and teach them about all this. And so it's exciting.
That's awesome. Now, so you're a CPA. So before this last 6-7 month journey, had you had any other properties that you owned? Had you gone or looked into that before, or was this just totally new world for you?
No, the only properties I had bought were just the homes that we had lived in. And I always thought I wanted to buy rental properties, but I thought you needed, 20, 30% down. So I thought, well, I can't do that until I have a big chunk to invest, So I really had no idea all these different avenues in order to do it. So looking back, I would have loved to kept all those homes that we owned as rentals, but I thought, I don't know how to do that,
Right.
So I have 2 houses and qualify for 2 mortgages and,
Right.
So, yeah. bought several homes all through the really low interest rate market, and that would have been good to keep.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. And you don't know what you don't know, right? And when you come into this world, it is mind-blowing, and like your eyes are just open to this vast array of possibilities and things that you had no idea existed, right? Because those are not things that we're taught. That's not things that are super well known. I think maybe with some of these mentorships and stuff, it's becoming more known, but still, especially with the creative stuff, that is still pretty new, I would say, as far as not a lot of people are doing it or maybe know about it. So tell me about, so you got into the sub-2 mentorship. Tell me about some of the things with that you have. Well, first, let's talk about your avatar. So one of the things Pace talks about with real estate investing is knowing who you are as an investor. Not everyone's going to be a wholesaler. Not everyone's going to be the private money lenders, and then there's lots of different ways that you can get into investing that, works for you, for your personality and what your interests are and maybe your goals are. And for me, I know for me, when I listened to that video on the different mentors, I was like, oh, thank you. I don't have to be a wholesaler, right? Yeah. So tell me, when you've kind of gone through that, what is your avatar? What do you feel like? And maybe it's shifted and changed, and maybe it's kind of evolving, but where do you feel like you fit in that avatar list? There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So that was one of the first set of recordings that I had watched, because that's what they told you. You need to figure out your avatar so you know where to go from there. Mm-hmm. So at first I was like, well, I'm definitely not a visionary. Mm-hmm. I don't want to wholesale. I don't want to cold call. That's just not in my DNA. I know I won't be good at it.
Right.
So I'm, very detail oriented, analytical. And I thought, well, I think I'm a visionary. Not visionary, integrator. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, that's probably my avatar. But going through the process of things and trying to join a team that was trying to wholesale, I realized, like, an integrator, that's got to be your full-time job. You have to have a time commitment to put in to be on a team. Gotcha. As far as I was concerned, and I just couldn't give that time to them. So I decided, okay, maybe that's not my avatar. I think it could be if I, did do this full-time, but my avatars kind of become a private money lender and a buyer. That's really what I've determined, I guess, from all this. So I feel like that can be done on a part-time basis and doesn't, make you have that full-time time commitment, which, I may do that down the road. But right now I still, work full-time and enjoy my job. And if I can find an avenue that's going to surpass that and, grow something huge for me, I probably would leave my job. But for right now, I just need something more on a part-time basis. And I actually love the lending part of it. My background also is in banking and lending. So I enjoy that part, and just looking at other people's deals. And and then as far as a buyer, obviously I want to buy and hold. So I'm looking for wholesalers that might have a property I'm interested in. And so just waiting. And I also have been connecting with like agents that have listings in my area that I'm interested in, and going to see properties, and nothing's worked out yet, but I'm going to keep doing that and see how that goes as well. But I'm not really buying for other, to wholesale them. I'm buying for myself.
Yeah. With the agents that you've connected with, have you found some that are more open to that creative side of the financing, and who may be willing to work with sellers to negotiate those kind of deals?
Yeah, I think some are and some aren't. I think it's really helped that I've gone and like looked at these listings and met them in person, and they see like I'm a real person. I'm not just some cold caller from wherever. And so I think they're more open to listen to it. And, not every seller is going to be up for that. And they'll immediately tell me, like, I don't think it'll work for them because of this. And I try to have the conversation with them. And most have been opening at least to listening.
Sure.
So I've negotiated a couple of properties and it ended up not working out for the seller. And I just kind of have the attitude like, that's okay. If it doesn't work for them, I want it to be a win-win. And so move on to the next.
Right. Yeah. And it's also just good practice for you to start, learning how to work through those deals, structure them, underwrite them, and know, right? Because we want to be helping the sellers, right? I mean, we want to provide value to them as well. So if it's not a fit for them, that's okay. They'll find it somewhere else, but at least, you can, and it's also nice that you don't have that pressure of feeling like I just have to get something, that you can just have that, like, when it happens, it'll be fantastic. Now for your investing journey, are you looking locally for buy and holds? Are you looking across the country? What would your like short-term goals be? And then maybe what's your bigger long-term vision for investing?
So at first, I definitely want to look locally. I would love to manage my first couple, just to see how the process goes, how that works, how hard it really is, what's involved. And maybe then branch out. I don't know if I would go outside of Texas anytime soon. I think I would want to kind of stay a little bit locally just to feel more comfortable. Like I can pop over to the property, drive over in a day if I need to or whatever. I know people do virtual stuff all the time, but I'm just not there yet.
That's good. Well, and Texas is a hot market, right? Yeah. Like you're in areas that are growing and are big for investing. So that's a good place to be. So yeah, you don't have to go far, for those of us that live in rural places, we do,
I guess that makes a difference. If I lived in Idaho, I'd probably say something different, but
Sure. Yeah, no worries. Now, okay, so you're a full-time CPA, CFO, you're a mama, you're a boy mama. I am too. You're married, you've got all these things going on. How do you feel like you've been able to fit it all in?
So at first, when I first joined Sub 2, I was like going morning to night, just constantly watching Zoom videos on every free time, I had. And because I was like, this is awesome. I want to, learn and watch all this information out there. I think I've gotten a little better since then at like time management, like blocking out when to focus on work and when to focus on real estate and when to focus on the kids and working out and, taking care of myself. So I'm getting better every day, but it's still a struggle. Sometimes I feel like I'm, running back and forth and trying to figure out what's the fire I need to put out now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But it's almost like a hobby. So I feel like excited to do it. And so that kind of, my husband laughs at me. He'll be relaxing in the evening watching TV or whatever, and I'm sitting there on my Zooms, and he's like, don't you just want to relax? I'm like, I am. It's fun. It's my entertainment.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. What has been something that was an unexpected challenge for you coming into this world that you didn't really feel like was going to be an obstacle for you, or what has been a difficult situation that you've had to navigate?
I think I'm very introverted as far as reaching out and putting myself out there. And I always knew this about myself. I knew it was going to be a challenge. And once I do it, I realized like, oh, it's not a big deal, but that's just, me inside. I'm a homebody. I like to, do my own thing. And so really making myself put myself out there has been probably the most challenging thing. But it's been good. Like once I do it, I'm like, this is what you have to do, and this is going to benefit you, and actually get fulfillment out of it, connecting with people. Yeah, it's just hard to make myself do it.
Right. Yeah. And with this challenge that we're in, this Project Forward challenge, obviously we're doing a lot of things out of our comfort zone, such as starting podcasts and doing all kinds of things like that. What is one expected benefit that you've gotten out of it, that even though it's been difficult, that you were like, oh, I'm so thankful that I've been able to, see this or get this out of it? What has been a benefit from it?
I think just kind of building my confidence, and getting out of my own head is kind of nice for a while. Because when you are to yourself all the time and you are introverted and thinking all the time, it can get overwhelming a little bit. So it's kind of nice just to like talk with other people that are in the same situation, and I don't know, just you're not alone.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things that PACE is very big about, right? Community and connection, working in collaboration with each other. Have you found that from the Sub-2 community, that it's, you feel like you're all moving together? And what kind of tell me a little bit about your experience with the Sub-2 community?
Yeah, it's like he sold Sub-2 as you're not buying a mentorship, you're buying a community. And I was like, we'll see about that. But it is so true. Like, just all the people out there that are willing to help jump in, talk to you about, what you're doing, what they think you could be doing to grow, is awesome. I've had nothing but positive responses, and people want to really help each other. I don't have any experience with other communities really, other than just other Facebook groups I'm part of, but everyone in this one seems very just positive and supportive. So it's been awesome.
And especially being new and not really knowing a lot about real estate investing, do you feel like you can go have a conversation with someone or reach out for help, and you've got multiple people saying, hey, I'm happy to support you, let's get on a call? Have you felt like it's been pretty uplifting in that way?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't utilized that very much, but all activity I see in Facebook is just someone says, hey, I have this issue, who can help? And there's probably 15 people that are like, call me, DM me, whatever. Awesome. So I know if I ever did run into something, that I could, have no problem finding someone to help me.
Awesome. And you had mentioned that in the past you had worked in banking and finance. I might be getting that wrong, but before the CPA world, what has that helped you with in coming into real estate investing? And what other strengths do you feel like you have that, you can provide value to others, even though you're new? Like, we all have things that we can contribute, right? So what do you feel like those strengths are for you?
Yeah, so I think my lending background has helped a lot in doing these private money lending deals, because I kind of know what a promissory note should look like and what it should say. And I have, an idea of ways to protect yourself in lending, and like, not that we're pulling people's credit, but what to look. I think I'm a good judge of character. I think most women probably are, but you kind of get a feel for people. And so that kind of helps in knowing whether you should trust them or not.
Sure.
And sorry, what was the second part of the question?
Oh, what other values that, you can bring that, like kind of like the knowing about the contracts was definitely the big one that you've been a huge benefit for me with being able to say, like, this is how this contract should be structured.
Yeah. So my background definitely has helped me with reading and understanding contracts as well. Just being in public accounting, I've read a lot of operating agreements and tax returns and just different legal documents. And so that kind of helps me interpret things. And not that I'm a lawyer, I don't
All right.
but it makes me feel more comfortable. And like I said, I'm very analytical, good with numbers. And so I think I could help others with analyzing deals for sure. From start to finish, really. I'm also in the top tier underwriting training. It's another course within Sub 2. And it's great. So I'm going to try to get certified in underwriting so I can, know that I know really good start to finish process and understanding of underwriting. So that's kind of cool. And that's what I like. I like getting into the details and working out the numbers and, seeing, is this a good deal or is it not? And I think a lot of people don't have that ability. Sure. They're more like, I just want to talk to people and negotiate. And that's where I'm not good. So I'm
right.
I'm better on is it a deal or not?
Right. Well, and that's, like we need both, right? We need the people to go out and find the deals and then the people to structure them and make sure your money is safe, especially if you're lending money and asking people for money. You want to reassure them that, like, I've got you, your money is safe with us. We will get you those returns, and be confident in that and be able to, allow that lender to feel your confidence and trust you. So that's awesome. And I think that's such a great use of your skills and where, what your strengths are. So that's incredible. Is there any, as far as in this journey, were you into personal growth and development before this? Are those things that you have been working on along the way? Or was that a new kind of world that was opened up to you as well through this process?
Yeah, I've always been interested in personal development. I have always been like a book reader. So see something that catch my interest and anything that I feel like, oh, this could possibly help me improve my life in some way. I've always been interested in that. So this is just kind of an extension of that, I feel, helping me in a financial way, but also I love the fact that I can teach my kids this stuff.
Right.
So I grew up in we were middle class, not poor by any means, but my parents didn't know any other way than go to college, get a job, save, and then you're good.
Right.
So, I had no other entrepreneurial ideals that I was seeing growing up. So I always wanted to know more about that, but it's like I teach myself, find the teachers to teach me. And so I've always kind of wanted that, but never knew how to do it.
Right.
So finally I feel like, okay, I wish I would have known all this stuff, 20 years ago.
Right. But you're getting started now and only good things to come. Is there any, so over the years, is there any author, book, podcast that you really love, draw from, that kind of helps move you forward?
Really that tax-free wealth book, I'll never forget that. I think everyone should read it. And then of course I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad right after that.
Right.
I'm sure everyone in this space has read that.
If you haven't, you should. Yes, absolutely.
So when I go on my walks every day, I always listen to the Bigger Pockets podcast. And I really enjoy that, just hearing other investors' stories and where they came from and what they were able to accomplish. So
awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Nothing else comes to mind, but those are my go-tos right now.
Okay. I love it. Well, as we wrap up, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us and opening up a little bit about your journey. And so my final question is, for someone who is brand new, who's just learning about this real estate investing space, how would you either recommend people get started, or what how would you help them? Or one piece of advice that you wish you had when you first started that would help that new investor, that new person in this space, move forward a little bit quicker?
Yeah, I think just get involved. Like, if you don't have the money to spend on a mentorship, I feel like that was so important for me to do. But if you don't have that investment, just go to your local RIAs, go to the Facebook groups that are free that people are doing these things. Just read and learn, watch YouTube videos. Just any of the free resources out there are going to help you. And being around like-minded people is really helpful too. And you can meet so many different types of people that are doing this just through social media, and just building relationships is key, and you don't have to spend any money to do that. So
Right, exactly.
yeah, just put yourself out there, say, hey, I want to do this. Who wants to team up, or who wants to get to know each other, or whatever.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? And we do better when we've got people by our side to help support. And then kind of the thing that I love is as you're learning and as you're growing, then you're going to be able to bring those people who are behind you up alongside you and help them just like someone helped you. And so that community is super huge and super important. Well, Christina, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been awesome. I really appreciate you. And is there, where can people find you? Like, what are your Instagram, YouTube, those kind of things? Where can people find you if they want to learn more about you?
I just started my YouTube page, and it is Christina Kjar, R-E, and my last name is Kjar. On Facebook, I'm Christina Powers Kjar, and Christina Kjar on Instagram, which I'm not very good at Instagram, so I'm gonna learn.
We're a work in progress. We're a work in progress. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you guys for joining today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.